Hi, welcome to Wishing Well BBQ. I'm Dustin Wells, and today we're going to do a smoked Thanksgiving turkey. Let's do it. I went to my local grocery store and picked up this 16-pound turkey for Thanksgiving. When you're picking a turkey, you want to get one between 14 and 16 pounds. If you get one of those great big turkeys that are about 20-25 pounds, the outside of it's going to dry out before the inside has a chance to get juicy, tender, and done. And when you're cooking for a large crowd, it's better to cook 2 or 3 smaller turkeys than it is to cook one great big one. Hey, let's get to trimming this thing. I let this turkey thaw for about 3 or 4 days in the refrigerator before getting it out. I took it out of the bag, I rinsed it off, I took all of the innards and the turkey neck and everything else out of it before we started trimming. Now, what I also did was I patted it dry. I want to keep the skin dry so that it has a chance to crisp up in the smoker. Now, the first thing I want to do is take this little tail piece off. That's not really a desirable piece of meat to have. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to spatchcock this turkey. That's going to allow it to lay flat and produce even cooking throughout the entire smoke. So what we're going to do is we're just going to flip this over. And the way you want to do this is you want to follow along the back side of this bone. Now, if you have a good pair of kitchen shears that you can cut this out, that's great. Hey, just use whatever works best for you. I've got this serrated knife here, and it's kind of a pain to do. But if you follow along that backbone, you can really cut all the way down through the turkey. And it'll open it up a little bit. Now, we're gonna also do the same thing on the other side. Now, after you cut this out, you're gonna have the backbone like this. You could use this to make a turkey stock. That would be a really good thing to make for turkey gravy. I'm not gonna really use that today. So after we have this backbone taken out of the turkey, we wanna go right down here where the turkey starts to split in the breast. And we just wanna make a nice cut so that we can pop it open like this. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and take this turkey, we're gonna flip it over, and you can see that there's a bunch of leftover skin on this end. We're gonna go ahead and cut that off. It's not gonna make a good presentation, and it's just not gonna look that great on the table. So now what we wanna do is we wanna kinda turn these legs so that they sit like this. The legs are down here, the thighs are up here, and these wings, I want to tuck the wing behind so that it makes it a little bit thicker and it won't dry out as easily. So all I'm doing is tucking this out. All right, and then we have our spatchcock turkey. Now what I want to do, I want to go ahead and dry the skin. Remember, I'm trying to keep everything very dry so that the skin gets nice and crispy after we have it on the smoker. The next step that I take in preparing this turkey is I always inject it. Turkey doesn't have a lot of fat inside of it, and it doesn't have that much flavor. So I always want to boost up the flavor with an injection, and I make my own homemade injection. So let's see what that recipe looks like. So the first thing I do is I always get about a couple of cups worth of chicken stock. If you have turkey stock, that works just as good, but make sure you get plenty because we're really going to pump this bird up. I also add several tablespoons worth of soy sauce. I use the non-low sodium, so I use the regular soy sauce in that. A little bit of honey for the money. That way it adds a little bit of sweetness to it. And then lastly, I've got some of my homemade dry rub. I'm gonna add just about a tablespoon in here just to kind of season it. Make it taste good, keep those same flavors going. Then I'm gonna go ahead, mix that up really good. Today I'm gonna use my pistol grip injector. I'm just gonna stick it down into the injection. I'm gonna suck all of that up. Now, as I come over here to the turkey, I want to go into the thick part of the breast, do a couple of stabs, and I really want to pump this turkey full. I don't think that you can over inject a turkey. I can even get inside of the wing here. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and inject this thigh here, and I wanna make sure I move the needle all the way around so that I evenly distribute the injection all the way through. All right, one more final injection here. Really pumping this bird full. It's gonna really make the meat nice and tender and juicy, and of course pack it with a bunch of flavor. Now that we've got the turkey fully injected all the way through in each and every muscle, we're gonna flip it over and we're gonna start applying our dry rub. So today I'm using my own dry rub that I make. And what I want to do is I want to evenly distribute this dry rub all the way across the turkey. And you want to go heavy. Turkey doesn't have a lot of flavoring on its own, so you want to make sure you get a bunch of flavoring on there. Even if it seems like it's too much, it's not going to be too much once it's nice and done and sliced. And I want to pat it in the best that I can. Now we're gonna go ahead and flip this bird over. Now we're gonna do the exact same thing on this side. Now remember, this is your presentation side, so you wanna make sure that it looks nice and even all the way across the turkey. Again, don't be scared to put too much seasoning on there. Turkey doesn't have a lot of flavor on its own. We're gonna add as much flavor to it as we can. So this is what you're looking for whenever you get your turkey seasoned. You're looking for an even distribution of seasoning as well as the way that it sits up. So that way it has a really nice presentation when you pull it out of the smoker. The way you pull it out of the smoker is the way that it's gonna look cooked. So when we put it on the smoker, we wanna prep it up really nice so that it looks great. All right, today I'm cooking on my 500-gallon offset smoker. We call this thing the Baste. And when you're putting the turkey on, you want to make sure you prop it up the way that you want it to look whenever it's done. So go ahead and bring those legs and thighs in close, bunch it up so it has a really nice presentation. Now I put the thighs and the leg closer to the firebox because they can take a little more heat than the breast can. Now we're gonna let this turkey cook at about 275 to 325 degrees until the thigh reaches an internal temperature of 185 degrees and the breast reaches an internal temperature of 165 degrees. Now we're gonna go ahead and make a basic baste for this turkey. As it's cooking, we want to add a little something to the skin so that way it makes it nice and crusty and crispy. So what I've done is I've got 3 sticks of butter. I've chopped up about 6 garlic cloves. I'm gonna put those in there. I'm gonna add a little splash of soy sauce just to keep that same flavor profile going. Add a little bit of honey just to add some sweetness, and honey's not gonna burn, so that's gonna help with that. And then lastly, I'm gonna go ahead and add a couple of tablespoons of my dry rub that I put on the turkey. That way we keep the same flavors going. Now, I'm gonna put this on the smoker, let it get all happy and cook together, and then when the skin starts to dry on the turkey, we're gonna add it as a baste. So we've had this turkey on for about an hour and a half, and what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go ahead and check it and baste it. We'll open it up here, pull it out. As you can see, we're starting to get a little bit of pullback on the bone here. It's starting to get a little bit dry, starting to get a little bit crispy. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and baste this. So I've got my baste mixture that we made earlier today. I'm gonna go ahead and just dab some of that on there. We've been cooking at about 285, 300, right around in there, but I'm just gonna baste this whole turkey. Get as much of this butter on there as we can. Ooh, that garlic is getting nice and mushy. Seasoning this butter. Oh man, you know this is gonna be so good. All right, so now we've got this turkey basted, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and put it right back in there and close it down and let it keep on cooking. All right, so we're sitting at about 146 in the thickest part of the breast. Let's take a look at our turkey here and see how she's doing. Oh yeah, look at that. Definitely getting some more drawback on the bone. Starting to get a really nice color. You can see that skin is really getting crispy. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our butter mixture. We're just gonna go ahead and put another coat on there. Man, the color of this is looking awesome. I know that skin's gonna be crispy. It's gonna be delicious. We're probably looking at about another hour or so until it's done. So we're just gonna baste it and then put it right back in and let it keep on cooking. We'll see what happens in about an hour. Hey, I just could not go without showing you guys what else I've got on this smoker. Who knows, maybe this will be a future video for Wishing Well BBQ. Let's see what's under here. Oh yeah, we got a nice 16-pound brisket. We got 2 whole chickens over here. Oh man, these are gonna be good. Stay tuned, they'll be coming soon. All right, so we've had this turkey on for about 5 hours. We've reached an internal temperature of about 165 in the breast and around 183 in the thigh. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna let it rest for about 15-20 minutes before we slice into it. That way all the juices have enough time to redistribute throughout the meat. All right, so we've let this turkey rest for about 15 or 20 minutes and I cannot stand it anymore. I am ready to slice into this, so let's go ahead and do it. All right, so the first thing that I wanna do is I wanna go ahead and take these thighs and legs off. And you know this is a good piece of meat right here, and it's gonna come right off. We get right in where that bone separates, and look at that. Look at the juice that's in there. Man, that is juicy. Let's set that right over here to the side. Let's go ahead and take this other one off while we're at it. And it slices right down the middle as well. And look at the juice just pouring from it. So juicy. All right, let's set it right over here. Now we can go ahead and get these wings out. If you'll pull them and kind of cut along, you'll find that joint that's in there. So we pull this joint and right there's that knuckle, and you can slice right through there and it comes right out. There we go. Nice little turkey wing there. Same thing on this side. Find that joint. Cut right through, pull it back. You'll see it start to open up there. That's when you can take your knife, slice right down through it. And it'll come right off, just like that. And then now we're left with this breast. And what we'll do is we're just gonna go ahead and slice it right through here. Cut in and take some of this off, just so we can see. Oh, look how juicy. Look how tender. All the juice just running out of that thing. That's from the injection that we made. We'll go ahead and slice this side as well. Slice right down through these turkey breasts. Now the rest of this we can save and go ahead and make some pulled turkey, but look how tender that is. Just falling apart on the inside. Nice and hot, nice and full of flavor. That's gonna be some awesome pulled turkey meat. But I'm gonna show you right now how we slice this breast. Go ahead and turn it to the side here, and if you'll just go ahead and take a knife, get some nice chunks here. Some nice slices, and that skin is crispy. The blade goes right through the skin. All right, I've had about all I can stand. I've been smelling this for about 5.5 hours, and it looks so good. I've got to try some of this, but before I do, I've got to get a little bit of this butter mixture that we still have left over, and I've got to just go ahead and put some of that all on here. It's just gonna help make that meat nice and buttery, nice and seasoned. It just really makes it shine, really makes it look good on the table. So I can't wait anymore. I've got to have a bite of this. Look at this. Nice and juicy, buttery, tender. That is so delicious. The dry rub, the seasoning, the injection, the smoke, all of it comes together to just coat your mouth with this awesome flavor. Oh, it's just so good. Hey, if you like what we're doing here on the Wishing Well BBQ channel, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and follow us on Facebook and Instagram to see more content from us. And let us know in the comment section what you would like to see us cook. Thanks for watching.